Hello and welcome to the CompCalc Plus 2017 training videos. This is the first of 3 basic features and functions. This will be followed by 2 other videos, advanced tips and techniques for the CompCalc, as well as rating with the CompCalc Plus 2017. The viewer of this video, as well as all users of the CompCalc, should be advised that it's not the intent of the law office of Richard Montalvo to create an attorney-client relationship, nor provide legal advice. All viewers of this video and or users of the CompCalc are instructed to consult an attorney and or the DEU to confirm all information and data provided. I'm going to keep these videos short. Each one should be 8 to 10 minutes, so you'll have time to go through each of all 3 in less than a half an hour. That's my goal or objective. I'll be using the iPhone 7 Plus for this demonstration, but as I indicated, or as you're probably aware, the CompCalc Plus is available not only on the Droid tablets and smart devices, but also the iPhone, the iPad, as well as computers, both Windows and Apple computer. Let's go ahead and get started. You'll see on the screen right now we have the opening desktop in an iPhone 7 that I'm using for the purpose of this demonstration, but all features and functions are pretty much universal between each of the 3. You'll just see a little different UI, user interface. Let's go ahead and tap on, in the upper left-hand corner, the CompCalc Plus icon, and first you'll see this opening display that indicates you're going into the CompCalc, and here it is. Now, new for this year is the combined value equation module. I'll be touching on that in a few minutes, but across the bottom, well, let me say this. In the basic features and functions, I want to go ahead and go through the basic features and functions so you're familiar with what it does. Then I want to go through and show you how to navigate, including input and export information. And then last, I'm going to go through what's new for 2017. We've added 3 new features. The first thing I want you to be aware of is how to move through the different modules. There are really 2 different ways to move through the different modules. Across the bottom, you'll see PD rating, permanent disability, temporary disability, life pension, and then you'll see 3 dots for more, which is a list of all the different modules. I'm going to tap on PD rating, and you'll see that it goes to the PD rating module. This is where you input all the information that allows you to rate a whole person impairment, adjusting for age, occupation. And there's a number of different features. I'll go into greater detail when you view the rating with the CompCalc Plus 2017. Next to the PD rating across the bottom is the permanent disability module. Here you're just going to dial up the year to the right, the percentage to the left. You can input the average weekly wage. Well, let's continue through this and I'll come back. Next to that is the temporary disability module, life pension module, and then if you hit tap twice, the 3D, the 3 dots at the bottom that say more, you'll see all the different modules that are available here, and you can tap on any of them. Right now you're in the support and training module, so you did a great job to figure that out. Let's go back to the PD rating module, and this is the one to your furthest left across the bottom. But a second way to navigate through this, and I think this is important, we've just gone through the features and functions that are available, but another way, rather than tapping on the bottom, is if you put your finger to the left or the right, you can swipe across. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my index finger just below the caption at the top, and I'm swiping, and you can see I can go through each one of the modules that are available for input. And if I go back the other way, from my left to my right across the top, I do that as well. The next thing that I'd like to go through with you is how you import and or export. You'll see that each module, you import the information the identical same way. And if you're ever worried about trying something, this is all you have to do. Either spin or tap. That's how it is through the whole entire program. Let's start out with, we're at the PD module. I'm going to tap on the TD module so you can see how that is at the bottom. You can see it emphasizes the TD. Now I'm going to go back to PD. Now this is the same with each and every module. Either we have a roller, and I just went up to 39%. On the date of entry, we have a roller. I'm going to go up to 2013. One of the things I want you to be aware of is if you're at 2005 asterisk, through 2006 to 2012, there is a 15% up or down to calculate it. And you just tap on it and slide it left or right. So I'm at 39%. It tells me for 2006 to 2012, the maximum rate is $230. The amount of indemnity, assuming 94 weeks of payment, is $44,620. But let's say that your applicant is not a max wage earner. We tap on average weekly wage. A max wage earner for that date of entry would be $345. I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to change that to $250. Now, I'm inputting a different average weekly wage, and I want you to be aware of what happens here. I go ahead and tap on the screen. Now it's just recalculated my PD rate. Instead of saying PD rate maximum, it says just PD rate, and it calculates the entire amount for me. Let's say he only makes $100. I'm going to hit return. Now it automatically gives me the PD rate at a minimum rate, and it gives me the PD rate flat, but I can adjust that to increase it by 15%, and it gives me my full calculation. Now, down at the bottom, you'll see tap for details. I'm going to tap on that, and you'll see if you read the screen, there's a lot of information. For example, for injuries through 1105 through 12/31/012, you'll see that it gives you the labor code section for the 15% up or down. If you tap on the screen, you'll see that it rolls up and it gives you appropriate labor code, summaries of appropriate labor code sections. This is out of the Work Comp Index, which is, I'm the author of that book as well. If you tap on the X, it'll bring it back down and you're back to your modules and you can switch in between. Now, one of the things that we did that was new this year is both for TD, PD, as well as on the rating module, if you don't know the average weekly wage, but you do know the PD rate, and you may be looking through your file and say, oh, here's the PD rate, I want to see what that is. If you tap on the PD rate, you can put in the PD rate as, and I'm going to put it in as $225. I hit return, and it does a reverse calculation and still comes up with, in this hypothetical, a 2006 through 2012 15% bump PD rate, and it gives $49,890. Now, if it was flat, it'd be $43,000. If it was 15% reduction, it would be $37,102.50. Okay. And all the modules work the same way. You're just going to tap. If you're not sure, and one of the cool things, I've just moved over to the temporary disability. One of the things that temporary disability module, one of the cool things that this has, and one of the first features that I put in, I just want to bring it to your attention, is when you go to the TD, one of the things that we are always doing down at the board is attempting to calculate a temporary liability for a temporary disability period. So if you tap on date calculator, right here, this will calculate your TD indemnity rate. One caution, the way I wrote this is on the preceding, I went back to the preceding page, I'm going to put in the date of injury. That's important so that you can use that window when you go to the date calculator. Now you can see it's already set up for January 1st, 2012. Let's say our TD period starts on February 3rd, 2012, and it goes through 2013. Now, I'm going to, you can't see the bottom of this page, so this is another thing that you need to be aware of. I'm going to go ahead and move my finger up on the left-hand side so I can see the bottom. Now, it tells me that this is 366 days, which is 1 day longer than a year, because a year would be 365. That would be February 2nd, but I'm going to move it to 1 day longer. Now, you can see that I have the TD rate. It assumes max for that date of injury. I also have the average weekly wage that I can input, just like the PD module, and modify it. But here's another neat feature. If you want to convert the number of days to the number of weeks, you tap on that area and it flips it and gives you 52 weeks, 2 days. Now, what's important here is calculation includes the start date, but it excludes the ending date. So, and that's the way the period is. So right now we're 2 days beyond, because we included the first date and the last date, we're 2 days beyond the actual period. Okay, let's go ahead, and you can see it's $52,000, $834.71 is the amount. But let's say that we know the TD rate is not max, it's only $400. So we put in $400 and bam, what do we come up with? $20,914.29. Now again, this is an estimator, but I want to show you one more feature. Let's say that you're calculating a period beyond the 104 weeks given the date of injury. Well, it comes up and it gives you a warning that you're beyond the 104 weeks. Of course, if we went back, we should be able to get this back below 104 weeks, and we did that through January, 700 days. That's 100 weeks. Okay? So let's go ahead and tap on the X. It takes us back to the preceding module. Last, what I'd like to do, we've gone through how to input, and let me go to the PD rating module. There's one thing here I want to demonstrate. Real quickly, I'll do a quick rating. I'm going to put in the date of injury, and all I'm doing is rolling in whatever it might be. This is the date of injury. The first was the date of birth. Whole person impairment. We'll do a quick DRE 13%. Part of body occupation. I'm going to put this on each one of the 3 videos because I want everybody, this is the one area that I get so many questions of or about. Part of body occupation. I'm going to tap on, it says tap to select part of body. Now I want you to take a look at what happened. Took away occupation and it took us into general part of body and detailed part of body. Now if I tap on the left hand portion where it says general part of body, detailed part of body, it takes me back out to occupation. Now, if I tap on the occupation field, it takes me into occupational industries and schedule of occupations. If I tap on where it says occupational industries and schedule of occupations, I'm going to go back to back out to part of body and occupation. So in other words, I'm going into just part of body if I select it, and it takes away occupation. And when I deselect it, it's going to take me back out so I can select occupation or part of body again. So just be aware of that. Okay. One other feature that I want to, as part of basic features and functions that I want to go through, are the icons across the top. You should become familiar with these. On the right-hand side, you'll see a plus, which gives you, and if you look at the rating string down at the bottom where it says body, 13, DFEC, occupation, age, 42. Okay? That's adjusting that without all the inputs in there. Let's go ahead and finish up this rating real quick. I'm going to do a spine. I'm going to say that it's a lumbar. You can see it's got a search engine here. It's a relational database. I'm going to go back out to occupation. I'm going to do this really simply. I'm going to tap at the top occupational group. I'm going to, let's say this guy's a crane operator. Another search engine. Tap on the crane operator, and my rating's done. If I want a second rating, I tap on plus. Now I'm working on that. If I want to export, I can save, restore, print, email, or copy this. When I'm through with all this, I can go ahead and hit the whisk broom and erase all fields, but first I'm going to hit the tablet. This allows me to take away one of the rating strings, and I've just deleted it. Now I'm going to erase the entire rating string. It says, are you sure? I say yes, and I've just erased the entire rating string. Now, the export feature is also available when you go to 100% disability. This is part of the advanced features and functions, or the advanced tips and techniques video that I'll be doing shortly. But as you can see, it does a present value COLA calculation, but once again, you have the export feature. You can save, restore, print, or mail this, or you can copy it. If we go to the date calculator, it also has a whisk broom that allows me to erase whatever's in there. If you go to the PV COLA calculation, this is for life pension. This is also going to be part of the advanced tips and techniques, but I'm going to tap on the PV COLA calculation. And here you can see I just put my thumb on the left-hand side so I could get everything up and take a look at it. And to do that, let me be more specific. Whenever you need to move something up to see if what it says, because there's just not enough room on these small devices, you put your thumb, what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb right next to average weekly wage, or right next to the roller and picker outside to the right hand edge of my device, and I'm moving up and I'm moving down, moving up, moving down. Okay. You can see that this is a present value calculator, COLA calculator based on life pension, but it also has an export feature. And once I save this, once I've completed my calculation, I can save, restore, print, email, or copy of it, or copy it. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Now there's one more feature that I want to show you that's new for 2017. It's the combined value equation module. What this allows the user to do is add multiple rating strings in a hypothetical what-if analysis, and provides or applies the combined value equation and provides you with the percentage and then also the disability indemnity given the date of injury. Let's just do this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and modify the 36. I'm going to say the first number is 32. I'm going to go up here to the upper left-hand corner. You'll see the upper right-hand corner. You'll see the plus symbol. I'm going to add a second number, and I'm going to say the second number is 15. I'm double tapping, by the way, when I roll on that, and you should be aware of this. The way to input is either a double tap or hitting the OK. And then the last number I'm going to say is 57. Okay, now you can see it's combined all three and given me 75%. You also see, just like the other modules, there's an average weekly wage as well as a PD rate that you can modify. You can modify the date of injury to give you a different indemnity rate. So new for 2017, we've done three things. Number one, we put an export feature, import-export feature on life pension, as well as awards of total disability. Number two, we put the combined value equation module in that allows you to calculate hypothetically the combined value equation to multiple percentages of disability. And then additionally, we've modified the average weekly wage and PD rate or indemnity rate input to allow you to either apply the indemnity rate, TD or PD if known, or input just the average weekly wage and it'll calculate your PD indemnity rate, TD PD indemnity rate, never above the max or below the min given the date of injury. Okay, that's basic features and functions. My recommendations are that you go to the additional tips and techniques as well as rating with the CompCalc Plus 2017 modules and view those as well. Okay, thanks so much.